Definitely feel like she has some growing to do. And like you said before we got really cut off by Zoom. We all have growing to do. Yo, welcome back to yet another episode of Key and Care, where we key
and we carry.
Surprise, bitch. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
I'm Damon.
I'm Troy.
And we back at it again.
Back
we missed y'all. Hope y'all missed us just as much as we missed y'all. But
so much.
We had to take a little vacay, Venice, Spain. No, I'm just kidding.
Milano.
Chasing LA, we're not quitters. So we decided to, do a little season wrap up of the first season of Chasing LA.
What is really going Compton, city of Compton, chasing after it.
Real funny.
How did you generally feel about the season?
I thought the season was okay. I was kind of expecting more from the City of Angels. Just like we got to see some of the cast work, we got to see some of their profession, but I feel like the show was like 80%.
Wait. I did it. And I was coming back into
drama. And especially for this to be a cast of people who are just started hanging around each other, I was like, why is it so toxic? And my Hershii voice, we just met. Like,
just met each other. I think the biggest issue with the show is that the characters weren't likable. Well, most of the characters weren't necessarily likable. And I feel like it should be kind of like maybe like a 70-30, maybe a 60-40, where it's like 60% likable, 40%, you getting on my nerves.
I broke my notes up like the girl Imani Van Zap. So my notes go, the bitches I love, the bitches I loathe, and the bitches that need to learn. No, I'm just kidding. But
so first person that comes to your mind?
Hershii,
okay.
Love LiqCour.
Hey.
Love LiqCour, my favorite.
Listen, my fave. Like,
tonight I'm getting all up in geesh because where else am I doing drag? The clubs ain't open. So I decided to introduce the group to Hershii LiqCour Jate from the legendary House of Jate here in Los Angeles, California. Lo and behold, I did not have to look for the building because I can hear them arguing from outside.
Hershii is chasing LA, hands down. Like, I love Hershii. I love everything about Hershii. Just Hershii being the voice of reason without even being the voice of reason, being in the least amount of conflict or being in no conflict at all. Her drag shows, like, I got my life from her first drag show. Like, her and, we talked about it, the yellow church mother suit, like getting in the park.
Definitely a candidate for network television, I would say. I would reach out to network television.
Oh, hell yeah,
because listen, you have everything. Like, you have the talent, you have the personality, you have the vulnerability, charisma, so it's just like really a whole package. Like, you were there and it was almost like Hershii was like kind of the audience at times, like when things were like going left, like Hershii was there like, what the fuck is going on? Like the first meetup, Hershii was there to be like, we just met each other. What the fuck is going on? Like,
he said that he might be a dad soon. So I was like, okay, Hershii,
very interesting.
Like, right? Like,
I know he has a partner. So I don't know how long they've been together, but congrats. That's cool. Things look like they're definitely on the up and up. Of course, Hershii talked about how, last year was last year was a lot for them.
The second it hit, like, I lost all of that. Like, I don't have a job no more. I don't have my hobbies no more. I ain't got drag no more half the time.
Real shit.
So everything that's been happening happened all at one time.
But I'm glad, that they came out on the other side. I'm glad that they're here, show and still so positive. I mean, I feel like everybody,
still hear Tisha Campbell. Still hear no Tisha Campbell Mark.
Yes, still here, no Tisha Campbell Martin. But loved how they talked about you know, their diagnosis. They were vulnerable enough to talk about their HIV diagnosis, and, you know, even going into detail about, you know, how they got it, and just like, you know, just their experience with it and just dealing with it. You know, of course, that's not really something that we talk about enough in our community, and I understand why. But yeah, it's really, you know, courageous and even refreshing to see someone kind of talking about their diagnosis, and, you know, just kind of their thought process and like how they feel about it now, and, you know, just to be a light, you know, because I'm sure there are people out there dealing with, you know, that and other things, and they see Hershii and they're like, yeah, I can make it through it, you know. So
it kind of reminds me of that episode of Noah's Ark where Ricky had that host scare, and I remember the group went to go visit him, and he was like, you know, sometimes, you know, I, you know, forget to, you know, to wrap it up. And, you know, Alex being a mother or whatever, it's like, girl, like, get on your shit. But I definitely, and then, you know, Noah being like, you know, the compassionate one, like, let's not judge him, you know, we all make mistakes or whatever.
yeah.
But I definitely think that was really big of Hershii to share like his story, with a bunch of people. Like, he's literally being viewed by people he doesn't know, and just to be so vulnerable and so transparent, I thought it was awesome.
Moving on, the first person to come to my mind, Jalia.
The guys need somewhere to get to singing and performing and get this show on the road. You feel me?
Jalia, for some reason, is the first person to come to my mind, or the next person to come to my mind.
Jalia Ja'Lone. Miss Lion King on Crenshaw.
Miss Lion King on the door. Okay, like, you know, I actually like Jalia. I think she has a fun personality. I think, you know, when she's amongst friends and like, you know, people that she likes, I feel like she could be a good time. Also, really like the song that she did. Really catchy. You know, I could definitely hear it at a party or even on the radio or something.
I just wanna roll it, roll it, roll it, roll up. And I just wanna drink the double shot in my cup.
Definitely feel like she has some growing to do. And like you said before we got really cut off by Zoom, we all have growing to do. We all have some growing to do, but I see things in her that I'm just like, ooh, girl, that's something you got to work on.
Now you got to go for real. That was fucked up. That was real fucked up right there.
Now, André had his André had his issues. André definitely was in the wrong in some aspect, but yeah, baby girl, you can't be throwing drinks on people and expect them to just be okay with that. What do you think? What do you think is gonna happen when you throw a drink on somebody? Now, again, I don't think he had the right to put his hands on her. But you know, definitely can't just be throwing drinks on people, you know.
But as the season progressed, she like grew on me. I like how she was vulnerable about, or I like how she talked about like how the pandemic affected her and how she lost her job, and, you know, after a while, she started thinking or wondering, like, you know, am I going to be able to pay my rent and still be able to, like, you know, survive or, you know, take care of myself? So I like that she, you know, opened up about that. And then it's interesting to me because somebody her age coming to the realization, like, oh, like, I can't, you know, I have to do what I have to do to take care of myself. I feel like a lot of other people just would have been like, fuck it, I'm in LA. I got savings. I'll just burn through my savings, or when I get to a certain amount, I'll start looking for a job or start doing something else. And she was just like, no, like, I can't keep living like this. So let me do what I got to do to take care of Jalia. So I really did like that. I'm also happy that her and Alicia were able to make amends. Because, you know, we talked about that at the beginning of the episode or the beginning of the season. How they're the only two trans women on the show, or only two women on the show. Like, y'all need each other more than you know. Like, all this slurring and back and forth was pointless. But I am glad that they were able to make a friendship, like a bond from this show.
I also like how she defended Alicia when what's his face
Contacts. D Hawkins, I'm sorry.
When D Hawkins was, you know, when they were outside talking, you know, talking that shit about Alicia.
Right.
And he started going into that, you know, I don't know if he just thought because everybody didn't like her, he just felt like he could just be like you're transphobic, like be transphobic. But I like how she corrected him.
Sexuality and gender are two different things.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? If she identifies as a woman and in her mind she's a woman, it don't matter if she didn't have no titties, no booty, no nothing, and she dressed like a nigga. If she says that she feels like that, she feels like that. That's you can't check. That's what her perception on life is. She's a woman.
Period, sis.
I'm like, oh, like I may not like her,
right?
She's still a woman, like you know, like.
And that literally came after they had like a second argument, and Jayla was like, I might not like the bitch, but this is what you're not about to do. Not Jayla possibly being the youngest of the group, but educating the elders.
Well, Jayla being a trans woman. And you know what's interesting, because at the reunion they were talking about, D Hawkins once again was kind of like coming for her, like, well, why I didn't know Alicia had a lawyer, or I didn't know Alicia had a spokesperson. Why are you speaking for Alicia? And I'm like, well, I mean, if she's the only trans person on the she's the only trans woman on the reunion, the only trans person in general, and you know, that's her friend, like, of course she's gonna defend her friend. That would be like if D Hawkins was on a show with a bunch of straight people, it's only you and another gay person on the show, and that person isn't there, you're cool with that person, and somebody's, you know, they're talking about the homophobic things that happen to that person. Of course, you probably gonna speak up because you understand, because you're from that experience. So I completely understood why she was defending Alicia and adding her perspective, because again, nobody else is trans, you know, nobody else is a trans woman, you know, on the show besides her and Alicia. So I got it.
Can we talk about some of her confessional looks? Like, Mamas was turning up some looks.
Okay.
This season. So one at the end of the season, the all white, the cocaine white with the poop. I was like, come on. It's giving fairy godmother / Griselda Blanco.
Yeah.
Like, I was here for it. Like, I just overall like Jayla. I like
it's going to cocaina tea.
So let me ask you, the cocaine white or the Lion King on Crenshaw? I'll move Coke in the 80s fit.
I'm gonna say the Lion King on Crenshaw.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the Lion King on Crenshaw.
I'm gonna say the cocaine white get up with the poodle. The poodle added the extra pizzazz. Like,
true.
The poodle added the extra pizzazz. And it was also the way she was talking. I know it was like a serious moment because Quan had just did his poem at King Payne's event, but Jayla in that confessional had me dying. She was like, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I was like, girl. I like Jayla though. I like Jayla.
I thought it was interesting how she talked about, you know, being in music and being trans, and how, you know, some dudes don't want to work with you, they'll charge you more, or they want to sleep with you. So, you know, that sucks. That's terrible. But I feel like the only way to kind of like work towards, you know, dismantling that is to talk about it, you know, to be, you know, bring attention to it, because, you know, people shouldn't be doing that. That's fucked up. Next person to come to your mind.
Ooh, Mr. Copeland.
I love the fact that I've been able to work with just amazing people in my community. I've been able to put my hands and footprint on people in my community that's making a huge difference.
For him to have such an expansive and impressive resume, he's like, I'm just like any other body just chasing my dream. I really like that. Yeah. His energy, his personality, he seems almost kind of like a goofball. I like that he doesn't take himself too seriously, and he also seems like a really good friend. Like, he communicates well.
And I've never done the same. And I've never spoken negatively. Stop fucking talking to me. And I've never negatively spoken about you. You're still talking to me. I asked you not to. Okay, but I'm still gonna say what I want to say. But you said what you want to say, and I respected that. So have the thing.
Just as long as you're not sleeping with him. Okay, I got you.
You shady.
I got you. I got it. Figured it out. Great at communicating. Just don't sleep with him. That communication is gonna go down. I tell you,
baby, it was dope that he introduced Hershii to Todrick, because you know Todrick kind of dabbles in like the drag scene. So
right.
I thought that was cool. Like he saw Hershii, or he saw her, met Hershii, and was like, "Oh, this is what you're into. I know somebody who's into this."
He works. He has credentials. You know, I think J-Lo, Beyonce, a couple other people. I mean, he knows Todrick, so the man works. The man is working, and you know, of course, it wouldn't be a gay Black YouTube reality show if nobody brought up somebody's porn. But you know, it's like, okay, but he's literally out here working, like, you know. So hey, he maybe used that to propel himself into a higher position.
See, I was gonna be trash can, but I'm above that now, so never mind.
Thank you, Yan.
It was no shade to Mr. Copeland and his past profession, but I was gonna say, I wonder how many artists has he worked with that have viewed his videos.
I doubt any of them really know about it.
Okay.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, maybe. You know what? We're not gonna go there. We are not gonna go there. Anyway, I wish we would have saw him dancing more. Yeah, we didn't really get to see him dance like at all. I really want to see him dance.
Right. But you know, every time I'm at work and I'm out of breath, I be thinking to myself, this is what it feels like to be a dancer.
A dancer.
Yeah, a dancer, no dance from College Hill.
But yeah, you know, he apparently he dances down. I would love to see that in the next season if he's on. Yeah, and just to see like how dancers even, I mean, I know how dancers make money, but just like, what is the world of a dancer like? Like, how do you, like, I know you go on auditions, but like, what are things that you're doing to like become the best, like, you know, to propel your career as a dancer?
Right. I'm also interested in like his workout routine. Cause you know I'm a Dance Doll fan, like Dance Doll from Jackson, Mississippi. But let me just say I'm a Majorette fan in general. But I'm always curious about dancers and like what their workout like regimen is, because I know you have to have an intense amount of stamina to be.
You trying to see his endurance? It's okay.
I mean dancers in general, y'all. Look at you, dancers in general, y'all.
That shit was low key funny when when D. Hawkins was like,
D. Hawkins has been here less than a year. You've been here for 15, sitting on a free motherfucking reality show.
Boom. Roasted.
The next person to come to my mind is Alicia.
I'm gonna let his motherfucking ass know one thing, bitch, and I'm from Southeast DC, and when I say something, I motherfucking mean it.
Yes.
Alicia, who just wants to spread love.
Yes. I swear I thought about that like a few days ago. She still should audition for the Shit We Do for Love. She still should audition for the show.
So I like Alicia. I feel like Alicia, you know, obviously she's kind of I guess she's not the most liked amongst the cast. You know, people have their issues with her. I'm sure people like the audience has their issues with her too. But yeah, I think I like her. There's something about her that's likable. I don't know. There's just something about her. I think that she's cool. She can turn a look. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Now, let's talk about that.
She can turn a look. She can turn a look. You know, I loved her 808s and Heartbreaks, you know, futuristic early 2000s look that she had when she met up with Hershii for Jamba Juice. You know, I liked all her confessional looks. Even her look for the when they did pole dancing. You know that Bob was bobbing.
It was bobbing.
Bob was absolutely bobbing.
It was
nothing on for the Bob.
And do you have a favorite Alicia look?
Definitely the 808s and Heartbreaks look.
Okay, I think mine.
Actually,
mine would.
Go ahead.
I feel like I know what you're gonna say, so I think I'm gonna change mine.
Okay.
Mine would be the confessional when she was talking about her conversation with Andre when they did the hike, the bang, the bone straight hair, and I think she had on like a pink dress. That was my favorite Alicia look.
I was gonna say her look when she met up with Jayla and they talked about being attacked. Yes, that look was everything.
The
Very
hair,
nice.
the boobs, the makeup, her legs. It's like, what gives you the right to serve like that?
Right.
But then I thought to myself, it's your right as an American citizen.
As an American citizen.
American citizen.
Definitely seemed reserved in the beginning, but you know, as you hear about her story about how she was attacked, you know, basically hate crimed, for being trans. I think she said it was like 6 men that jumped her, while she was leaving work one night. So, I mean, I'm sure that's traumatizing. That's, a horrible thing to happen to someone. I'm sure she's still probably dealing with the trauma from that. And I completely understood where she was coming from, especially dealing with the anger and aggression that came from this season. Like, I would also be kind of shut down because
I was just about to say that, knowing her story and knowing what happened to her, it was kind of hard to watch the season with like not all the guys, but some of the men just being like super aggressive with her. Like, okay, she said she was in the bathroom doing coke. If it's not true, just like let that shit fly. Like, I didn't understand why they were so hostile towards her. She even had said, like, I directed the comment towards Jayla, and then all of the guys were like just being super nasty with her. I was like,
I feel like mainly Andre. We'll get to it, but Andre has some anger issues that he needs to deal with.
He does.
But in this context, specifically in this scenario, I feel like, there's no reason for you to approach a woman like that. I feel like the only reason you would approach somebody like that is if you're ready to fight.
Right.
If you're not about to fight somebody, why are you doing all this hooping and hollering? I don't understand.
I feel like it was kind of like a deflection because they were intimidated by her. Just, I feel like
I thought you were going to say it was for the show, which I thought possibly is for, but why would you even do that for the show? Like, why would you choose another man to do that with?
Somebody said that.
Yeah. So it's, it always makes me uncomfortable when men get into it with women and men get in women's face and, literally act like they're about to fight them because it's not that serious. You should, it's a woman. And what they were talking about wasn't that serious, I don't even think she said that he was one of the people that was doing coke. So I'm like, I don't understand, but I like Alicia. I hope she comes back. I know she wasn't at the reunion. She might be over the whole show. Who knows? But I hope she comes back. I thought she was cool. I will say she's probably one of the people that didn't really get to show what she did. I know she does drag and performs, but I would have liked to have seen that. I thought, and I know the pandemic happened and it's still happening. So I know, people are still kind of dealing with that and I don't work from that. But I would have loved to have seen that. I would have liked to have seen that, I guess, show that she and Hershii were talking about come to fruition. I would have liked to have seen them do a show together. I think that would have been nice.
The season finale when Andre started coming for Jayla again, she pulled that blade out.
Okay, asshole. Let's dance.
Like, it's not today.
Yes. And I know everybody, some people were in the comments or even on the show like, oh, I can't believe she pulled a blade out. She's so extra. Why you pull out a blade? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, from what she's gone through, just being a woman, a trans woman, I'm not surprised she got a blade. Because, baby, you're not about to, act stupid if you want to. Like,
exactly.
You're a man. Like, you charge Andre being a man coming at her, like she needs something to defend herself. So a knife, it's gonna be a knife.
During the scene, Contacts was making more ignorant comments like, that's that manly shit. I was like,
are you dumb? I think she's dumb. I think she's dumb. Do you think she's dumb?
Defending yourself makes you masculine? Like,
child. Moving on, next person that comes to your mind.
King Pain.
They're not even ready for me, Fran. They're not even ready. The money is out there, and my future is out there, okay? And you already know I'm gonna get it.
Okay, King Pain.
Okay. At first, I was like, you doing a bit much, homeboy. Just a whole mixture of who don't you see it for.
Right.
I was like, this is your first time meeting. Why would you ask the group that? But over time, like with Jayla, he started to grow on me. Like, King Pain is funny as fuck. Like, once he's out of the drama, or when he's not creating drama or trying to start like a fucking storyline, he's funny. He's entertaining as shit.
He gives me Jayla.
Yeah.
Jayla the same way. Like when she's not in drama, it's like, she's a lot more, she's fun and interesting. But yeah, I agree. I King Pain definitely grew on me. You know, definitely had some funny moments.
So they playing I Can't Stand the Rain when I get to this raggedy ass event. And Andre is over there looking like Alien versus Predator. Super Flea over there prancing around like the Easter Bunny. Gonna walk up to me like, how is you doing? I'm like, girl, fine.
I also like how he met up with Jayla earlier in the season and kind of just talked about, you know, like, hey, I'm willing to help you out. You know, I'm not even gonna sign you to a contract. I'm just gonna let you kind of do you to kind of get the, you know, get a feel for what it is. And I really like that. You know, I feel like he seems like a good natured person when he's not putting on, you know, for the camera. So
can we talk about King Payne and these damn bubble jackets in LA?
Child.
No,
I don't know the weather in LA because I've never been to LA, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's kind of similar to Atlanta, where it's like they be wearing jackets. I'm like, I thought it was.
I don't know if it's winter or if it's summer there.
Yeah.
But King Payne in these damn bubble jackets. Now his event. What did Imani call it? That damn alleyway party that was going on. This nigga had on a bubble jacket, but he was walking around with like a portable fan. And somebody in the comments was like, nigga, just take the fucking jacket off. Like,
yes.
As the season progressed, he grew on me. Like, once we got to see his funny side or him kind of be like just mellow and chill, he's entertaining. I also want to note that he purchased That Man's LLC. Sweet Jesus.
And Jayla on the stage acting like she the one that bought it. Like, I want to give you this back. Shout out to YB Entertainment. He was like, bitch, how you gonna get back something that didn't belong to you in the first place? Like, you didn't buy it. It wasn't, your name wasn't on it. So how you gonna give it back? Like, but yeah, like, it's shady, but like I said off air, if I were Andre, I would have been happy because I'm like, if you're doing business through a DBA, an LLC is definitely more so what you would want over a DBA. So like, I would be like, thank you. You just pay for my LLC. Like, you know, like I'm gonna take it. You know, so it's like, I mean, I know it's insulting. They tried to mess with your business, but like, honestly, I would take it. Why not?
True.
Like, you know. But yeah, so to go on to the next person, Fran.
Kim Kardashian, please. That ass is soft and small. Kim Kardashian, my ass. Please. You are delusional.
First of all, I heard Fran can actually sing. We never heard them sing on the show, but Fran apparently can actually sing. I don't know, but that's what word on the street is that they can actually sing. But Fran this season definitely didn't show you in the best of light, I would say. You know, I feel like it wasn't horrible, but I just feel like we didn't really get to see you do anything. Like, you know, I don't know if that's because of the pandemic. I don't know what was going on in your life, but I wish we would have seen you sing at least a couple of sessions or a couple of scenes in the booth, you know?
Right. Or shit, just singing around your goddamn apartment.
Yes.
Yeah, you songwriting, you could have sang for King Payne's event, something, you know? The issue with the pronouns. Honestly, I think it just boils down to Alicia not doing it on purpose, not knowing. And I think the fact that you knew how she presented and you decided to misgender her anyway, I think that's where you were in the wrong in the whole situation. Like, I feel like, obviously, like she said, like, I feel like in a perfect world, we would ask people's pronouns even when meeting them. Right. But I feel like now we're at a point where people, you know, if you present, you know, mostly male, that's how people are going to address you. And, you know, I'm not saying that it's right, but I feel like people should kind of get a leeway there because how are they supposed to know, you know? Right. So, yeah, but Alicia clearly presents as a woman. She's clearly giving you woman. So it's like, you know, but yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, I did think it was funny when Fran said something about like
all the labels is causing division.
Not if you respect them.
Flykingi, Ian.
Well, they already know it's the Flykingi. I whole weight, got a pound on me, and if niggas want to smoke, I pull up, got a pound on me. It's the Flykingi, Mr. Congeniality. No jailbird like Lil Kendra, but still ran from behind balls like chasing reality.
Well, she tried. At least, you know, she...
Like blazers or button-ups were bedazzled. And
they
were
like, also ill-fitting.
Yes.
They were also ill-fitting, no shade, but yeah, they were also.
I was like, I could see a couple of, not a couple. I'm not really a bedazzled type of person, but maybe one piece, maybe a blazer.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it being bedazzled or studded, but every piece, and then it was like every other piece. It was like a piece of clothing from like the 70s, but it was altered to look more modern, like it just came off like the runway or something. So it's
right.
His fashions were a bit. I get it's his taste, which is cool, but it was a bit interesting. But other than the commercial that he did with Dior, other than the commercial that he invited D Hawkins to, he really didn't. He really didn't do much. And I know he's a battle rapper. I actually did watch one of his battle raps on Queen of the Ring versus Lady Caution. I thought it was dope. Okay. But I was kind of hoping to see more of that, like Ian, the battle rapper, and then him focusing more on like his brand, you know, his body butter. But it's like once he linked up with Andre, he wasn't as messy as Fran was or toxic as Fran was. But once he linked up with Andre, he just kind of just fell in line, and we didn't see Ian. Well, I didn't see Ian anymore.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of got swept up in the drama. I do kind of feel like Fran and Flykingi were kind of like Andre's like henchmen. Like it seemed like whoever he didn't like, they also didn't like for some reason. So yeah, I agree.
Andre with Charmaine Warren and the girl.
Puppies in? Yeah, they are. It's great. They tell you? They do. Have you not noticed?
Run in the house.
Following the girls. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about him, to be honest. He didn't really leave an impression on me. I did like the fact that he's a battle rapper. I thought that was cool, but we didn't really see that. He said he was busy when he went to shoot his ad for his body butter, or you know, his cosmetics, but we didn't see much after that. So it was kind of like wah.
Yeah,
you know?
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because once D Hawkins got on set, it went from this is my brand, this is what I'm doing, to let me get the dirt or the scoop on like the rest of the cast members. Even D Hawkins is like, you don't know Fran, how the fuck do you have so much to say about him? But that's kind of where he lost me, because I was like, this is a commercial for your brand. Like, I want to see what you do, the effort, all of the shit that you have to put into getting this brand off the ground and to creating this product. But it was just like, let me just talk shit about the cast.
Quan The Poet.
From coming out at 17, being told I'm not my mother's child, thrown out with the garbage to roommate with rats, and cardboard box and park bench as my shelter. I grew from gay bashes, slurs of words meant to destroy, but all they did was nurture.
Again, Quan is another person where I feel like he could have been likable. I just think he took some missteps. You know, I feel like it's obvious the colorism comment, you know, was, you know, there. Like I think you mentioned, I wish they would have talked about that at the reunion. It was weird. They just like glazed over it. But then Mr. Ray had like said something about how, like, I think somebody said something about color, and he was like, oh, don't say that, they'll eat you up in the comments. But why didn't y'all bring up the initial comment? That was weird. I think him being a poet is interesting, not a rapper, but a poet. I think that's really interesting. I like how he talked about his issues.
It got to a point where I was doing it like every day. I was trying to get through work. I like had to do it to get through work and everything. Like, and it was hard for me to admit that I was an addict because I was able to hold down the job, bills was paid, everything was good, but all my extra money went to coke. All of it went to coke. Partying, clubs, coke.
I like how he spoke on his battle with addiction and you know, just like how it affected him. And you know, yeah, I like how he was even open enough to speak about how he relapsed during the show. And I thought that took a lot because, you know, it's one thing to say that you relapsed 2 years ago, but it's another thing to say that you relapsed within the year, you know? So I felt that was, you know, shout out to him for being able to be, you know, candid enough to speak about that. And outside of that, I know he has some issues with Andre. I know he also has some issues with Alicia. And yeah, I you know, he was there, he was cool. I know he also has some issues with didn't he have like some issues with
oh yeah, he has an issue with D Hawkins.
So apparently, I guess he brought up the porn. He brought up Jeremy's porn to D Hawkins, and I guess D Hawkins wanted him to bring it up, I guess, amongst the group so that he could talk about it. Messy. Messy on both parts, to be honest.
Yeah.
It is what it is. How did you feel about Quan?
I didn't see it for him at first just because he was coming for Alicia so hard. But like other like King Payne and Jayla, as the season went on, I started to like him. I did like I did like how he opened up about his addiction with drugs and how it affected his life, and how he's lost friends from like you know, drug addiction. I thought that was real. Like, that's something that's not talked about in this community, especially like amongst like Black queer people, is like substance abuse. So I thought that was really interesting to hear. I also want to mention the poem that he did at King Payne's event about Black women and how Black women are mistreated and just walked all over, but they're literally the backbone to the Black man. And they're that poem was dope. Even Hershii, everybody in the audience was feeling it, and he spit a line. And Hershii was sipping on her drink like, fuck your shit. And I was like, that's right. Fuck your shit. Okay, next is D Hawkins.
Recording, I'm already fucking nervous, but I can't even get into the song. I'm down there and motherfucking about shaking. And I'm trying not to do that. And I don't want to go the fuck off on nobody because I respect everybody in here and I want y'all to respect me. So all I'm asking, give me about 10-15 minutes and just chill out. And I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but it's just like I'm fucking nervous, okay?
In my opinion, probably the most uneducated person on this show.
The fashions, that's just karma, baby. Like, I'm just like, and then he had the nerve, the gall, the audacity to say.
Well, some people consider the crusty and dusty, but it was, you know.
It might have been the lighting. It might have been the lighting, friend.
Paying homage to the great Marsha P. Johnson.
Okay.
For those that were to say.
Okay.
That's so upsetting.
To say, oh, I was channeling Marsha P. Johnson. Were you? Like,
this was fucking spec.
You didn't hit the mark. You didn't hit the mark.
Completely missed it.
Like,
I will say I did like his reunion fit, minus the wig. I did like the suit.
Honestly, I feel like the suit was nice.
I honestly felt like Fran should have wore the suit because I feel like what Fran had on had washed him out. He's already, they're already light skinned. They're already like light. Plus, with being under all those lights, it just kind of washed him out. So I feel like Fran should have wore the suit that D Hawkins had on. But I did like D Hawkins' suit. That was probably the only fit. Yeah, the only fit of D Hawkins that I liked.
He was brave enough to talk about his experience. You know, I guess growing up without a dad. You know, his dad wasn't in his life.
Sometimes in life we have to accept change, or change is going to be thrusted upon us. Right. You know, especially as Black gay men, you know, we struggle enough growing up, and then it's like we step into adulthood. A lot of times we don't, you know, a lot of times we don't address the issues that we grow up with, and then they really, you know, they take over us and they become us, you know, into adulthood. So
Who was the last person?
Mr. Shot by Him.
Shop Him is my brand, and this is my baby. It means the world to me. And you know what? I put the he in him. Period.
Oh, André. Oh Lord. André. So I'll start off by saying I was disappointed in André. I'll say that because I actually really like André. I feel like he has a good, like I keep saying on this show, he has a good personality, but it's just this anger and this aggression. It's like these issues follow you and they kind of change you into this, like, I don't want to say monster, but they change you into this person that's not likable. You know,
I just feel like a monster.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm sure when he was crying in that bathroom, he definitely says that. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, I like André. First of all, he works down, has credentials, you know, has his business, showing his commercials during the show. You know, it looks high grade, looks produced well, clearly has some money behind it. Clothes look decent, they look nice. You know, I think he has so many things going for him. It's just this like anger within him where I don't know if it's for the camera, I don't know if it's just genuinely within him, but baby, you gotta check that anger. That's not gonna help you in anything, because it's like whenever he got into an issue with somebody, he would just blow up. And a prime example of that was when, I know it was his event, but the event where Jayla threw the drink on him, like before that, everybody was arguing, and he just got up and was like,
Shut up, everybody! Stop! Because that's the problem with y'all bitches. If nobody will listen, we were all rooting for you. Nobody will fucking listen to what the next person is saying. Stop all that fucking trying to turn up shit. That shit is whack. Y'all bitches pissing me off.
Oh my God. I thought this was a classy party.
Shut the fuck up, everybody. I was like, oh, like that is definitely not the way to calm a crowd. Like, and again, like I think people have done this throughout the season where it's like you're trying to calm people down, but you're yelling at them. And it's like kids don't like being yelled at. So adults definitely don't like being yelled at. So it's like, I don't understand why you think you could yell at people and cuss people out and not expect them to respond in the same energy. Like when he did that, Quan was like, I don't know who the fuck you think you talking to. You better calm your ass down. Like, you know, it's almost like you're trying them. You're inviting them to an altercation. That's just not, it's not beneficial to anybody. So, yeah, I hope he gets some type of help for that, because there's a lot of anger and aggression there, and you need to learn how to deal with that.
Yes.
Like, because what happens when you work with talent that's difficult? You can't blow up on them like that. They're gonna kick you off the set.
And
like,
definitely ruin your reputation. I'm sorry. Like,
so
yeah, I said basically the same thing. Like, I had such high hopes for André. I thought he would have been like the most professional of the show, just based on what he does and who he's worked with. But like, no. The way he disrespects people and then he wants respect from them in the same breath is just crazy. Like you said, you can't talk to people crazy and then expect them just to like cower or, you know, just submit to you. Like, people don't operate like that. So
even if it's your event,
because
even if it's your event, you're not gonna talk to me crazy. That's not gonna happen. Like,
talk to me nice.
Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice, or don't talk to me twice. Okay. What's that saying where it's like you get more bees with sugar than you get more bees with honey than vinegar. Why you want bees in the first place, I don't know, but that's so but yeah, like I yeah, that turned me all the way off about André. Like, just even when he got into it with Alicia, he was losing his mind. And
disrespectful as fucking. She was just chill. Like, all she asked him was like, "Are you coming at me respectful? Or are you trying to be shady?" And he just flipped the fuck out, like, for no reason.
King Payne's event. Yeah.
I forgot King Payne's event. He flipped out. Yeah, I say he's a loose cannon. Like, he has anger issues that he needs to like really work on. Because
therapy.
This cast of people,
therapy.
yes.
Like
this cast was like, well, this cast except for Quan and Alicia was really patient with him. Like, if this was anybody else, he probably would have got mollywopped. Like,
if this was G Status.
Yes, baby.
Listen,
G Status or the come up, he would have somebody. And the worst of Norman Freeman, bitch, like maybe come up beside you. Somebody would have came up beside his goddamn head. But
listen,
you just got to learn how to talk to people,
yeah.
Especially being like, I don't know Andre's age. I feel like he's a little bit older than most of the cast on the show, but just him is. He's got to learn how to talk to people.
Definitely.
You definitely have to learn how to talk to people.
I will say I'm glad that he got up and walked away.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the issue between them is not that serious for you to be buying nobody's LLC, especially after finding out that King Payne actually bought it. I do feel like, he said, don't come for my business, don't come for my money. I get that. I do feel like you're playing a dangerous game when you put your hands on somebody, because once you put your hands on somebody, it's kind of off limits. That's why I feel like that's why I feel like people should refrain from putting their hands on people, because once you put your hands on somebody, to me, in my mind, I feel like all bets are off. It's like you don't know what can happen at that point because you put your hands on somebody.
Right.
So I know she threw a drink on him, which of course she started it, so she was in the wrong. But for them to put their hands on her, I'm not surprised that she decided to purchase his LLC, because.
But even with the text message that he sent her following like their altercation, like, Jalia, you are a broke ass bitch and all that. I was like, where the fuck is this coming from? Like,
yeah,
why are you talking to a woman like this? Like,
yeah. And I know they said like, oh, he might be transphobic. I don't know. I just know that he did have a lot of smoke for the trans women on the show that he did not have for the men on the show, the cisgendered men on the show. So, he didn't come at King Payne like, well, he kind of did, but not really, Either way, I hope he gets, some type of help for that. But
he didn't come at Quan like that. Like when Quan stood up and was like, who the fuck you talking to? He was like, you can get the fuck out. Andre didn't return.
Right.
But Quan left and then he comes back and he's arguing with Jalia. Like,
whew. But yeah, hope he gets help for that. Yeah, like I said, this season was interesting. Definitely had some bumps in the road. But I mean, y'all got through it. It made sense. You live to fight another day. So, I'm excited to see what the season will look like compared to next season will look like compared to this season.
Right.
And yeah,
right.
Do you have any lasting thoughts before we get out of here?
No, I just thought the season was okay. I like the handful of the cast members, and just happy to be back king and carrying with all of you guys, because we missed y'all so fucking much.
So much. Missed y'all down. Definitely look out for more stuff. We're, we took a hiatus, but we're back. Definitely got some stuff to push out. We got our G Status episode coming out, for the episode that they put out. Don't know if they're gonna put out the rest, but hey, watch our review if you're missing G Status. Also we got some movie reviews coming back. We got some other shows are out there. The Circle Atlanta is out. What's another show that we thought about? The Come Up Atlanta is coming out. So be on the lookout for those. We might kind of bunch the episodes together, do like episode 1 through 3 or, season wrap up or, something like that. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. We out here. Support Black business. Support Black content creators. This has been Key and Carry, where we key
and we carry.
And we will see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Yes.